Now on CoastTV News.
A cold start this morning with increasing clouds. Then we're watching a strong system to our west, bringing rain, wind, and possibly severe storms later Wednesday. I'll track it on a future cast coming up next.
Reaction to referendum, that from property owners in the Indian River School District who may have to foot the bill if it goes forward later this month.
I'm here to protect property rights for myself and for my neighbors and my friends that I've met over the last couple months.
State limits set. You just heard reaction to Ocean City's new short-term rental policy that was approved last night. We have the big change that will go into effect in 2 years.
Quiet time in the quiet resort. The updates being made to Fenwick Island's noise policy.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And it is Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, Fat Tuesday. It's the last day for a number of people to load up on, shall we say, not as healthy food before Lent begins tomorrow.
I know. I always give something up. I need to think. Have you thought of anything? Are you giving up anything or no?
I haven't even decided if that sounds terrible.
I don't know.
Now that you put me on the spot, I'm probably going to have to give up something.
It's okay. I didn't think either, so I don't know. And hopefully Bob doesn't look better than us and he already knows what he's giving up. Bob.
I want to give up this cold that I've been battling for about 2 weeks. How about that? Yeah, Lent begins. I like to give up sweets as we head into Lent. Of course, tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. We're looking at temperatures out the door about 15 degrees warmer than they were yesterday at this time. We were in the teens and 20s yesterday, and now we're in the 30s to 40 in Bethany Beach and Indian River Inlet, 32 in Georgetown, 34 in Del Mar. Yes, it's cold, but not nearly as cold as yesterday, as we're seeing winds coming out of the south now. They're light now, but they'll be picking up with time. Feels like temperatures are in the 20s and 30s, so it's cold, but improving conditions from yesterday morning as we're looking at an increase in some clouds right now, and we're looking at partly cloudy skies as Arctic high pressure is beginning to slide offshore. We're getting into a southwesterly flow, and that will warm us up today. And the big story is this area of low pressure churning across the Central Plains with severe weather breaking out there. That will eventually bring rain and maybe severe weather our way tomorrow evening. But today, we're looking at temperatures warming to the 30s this morning, 40s mid-morning. By noon, we're into the upper 50s, but colder 40s at the coast. That water is much colder, and then 50s to close to 60 as we go into this afternoon. So it is warming up with the cloud cover and becoming breezy, but still pretty chilly at the coast. So those winds will be gathering strength into the afternoon as we warm it up, and then we get really windy into Wednesday. It's a yellow alert day for the possibility of severe weather later in the day. I'll talk about that more coming up a little bit later on.
Forward to that. Thank you, Bob. Developing news in Sussex County as officials from the Indian River School District continue to make their case for the need of increasing property taxes. This is ahead of this month's referendum, and a big pitch came in the form of a public meeting held last night in Ocean View. The needs being cited deals with growing operational costs along with teacher recruitment and retention. According to the district, the tax would increase. This would be around $20 per $100 of assessed property value. Indian River says that would be around $24 a month for the average taxpayer, and some people in the district that we spoke with are in favor of the increase.
The jobs of the future are going to require better and better education, so if that's a small sacrifice I can make, I'm willing to make it.
And the next public meeting is March 12th at the Indian River High School. The referendum vote in the district is March 20th.
New this morning, Delaware State Police will continue to investigate the cause of a Monday afternoon crash at a playground in Stonewater Creek. That is just off of Indian Mission Road in the Long Neck area. When crews arrived, they found a gray Chrysler Town and County minivan had crashed into a swing set. According to the Indian River Volunteer Fire Company, no injuries are being reported.
We're now taking a live look at Ocean City. Maybe. I think it's out there.
The sun's not up yet.
Yeah, there you go. This is near the boardwalk where this camera is, and the stores along that area are getting a look today by town officials. New this morning, an update to an ordinance regulating outdoor merchandise displays on the boardwalk will be reviewed, specifically definitions for this type of business promotion. The rules gained momentum last year in dealing with concern over the displays being placed too far out and creating obstacles for people walking on the boardwalk. Ocean City Planning and Zoning Commission is expected to review this at their meeting tonight with the hopes of having a public hearing on March 18th.
Planning your Ocean City vacation could look a little bit different now because a minimum 5-night stay and a short-term rental will now be required in some areas of the town. This comes after months of meetings, discussions, and public hearings. The rule applies to houses in the R1 and mobile home districts. Locals came out to the town council meeting ready to share their opinions.
The short-term restrictions would have generational impact in our family and our neighborhood.
I'm here to protect property rights for myself and for my neighbors and my friends that I've met over the last couple months.
Some locals who support the change say it would help prevent neighborhoods from turning into hotels, and the change impacts summer 2025 and summer 2026. But at the start of summer 2027, a 31-night minimum stay will be enforced.
We have an update to a story that we have been covering in Milton. This is about some paid parking options in the town. Last night, officials discussed how to pay for a lease lot next to the Milton Historical Society. This included charging businesses for spots, parking meters, and a parking impact fee. The issue will be revisited at a future joint meeting between the Parking and Finance Committees.
Some more details on the metered parking proposal in Milton. According to the town, metered parking season would be seasonal. It would start from May 1st and end on October 31st, lasting 180 days per year. This option would require the town to hire parking enforcement, which would be from noon until 9 p.m. daily.
Yeah, this brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, should businesses pay a parking fee?
So far, 75% of voters say no and 26% say yes. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so on CoastTV.com or on our mobile app. And tonight, the culmination of a seasons-long celebration in New Orleans. As it is Mardi Gras, parades have traveled up and down the streets of the Big Easy all weekend, withholding the final festivities. Police have increased security measures after the New Year's attack. Some parades were canceled due to weather, but that did not stop people from taking to the streets anyways.
Happening today, Milford breaking ground on a project supporters say will boost the economy and have economic growth. City officials are inviting the public to the Milford Corporate Center groundbreaking ceremony that's taking place this morning at 11. The business park is expected to bring new jobs and improve Milford's economy.
In Fenwick Island, you'll have to be a little quieter as the town amended its noise ordinance. The two major updates include how loud people can be and the times. Noises around town are limited to 65 decibels or less during the day and 55 decibels or less during quiet hours. Fines for noise violations would be set at $200 per offense, and quiet hours now run from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m.
We're taking a live look now at Washington, D.C., U.S. Capitol building, and tonight inside there, President Trump is set to address a joint session of Congress talking about the actions he's taken in his first few weeks in office. And this comes as several important issues are top of mind. Overnight, new U.S. tariffs on imported goods took effect.
And the U.S. cut off military aid to Ukraine, and protests over government workers being fired are growing across the country. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the impacts of these issues are progressing in the U.S. and around the world.
This morning, trade tensions ramping up with China announcing retaliatory tariffs on some U.S. food imports. Canada vowing similar steps in response to new U.S. tariffs that took effect overnight, including a blanket 25% tariff on all imported goods from Canada and Mexico and an additional 10% on Chinese imports.
What they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs.
American companies now bracing to eat added costs or pass them along to consumers. This Michigan auto parts producer imports 30% of its materials from Canada.
It means dramatically increased costs that we might not be able to recover.
At the same time, President Trump pausing military aid to Ukraine, according to two U.S. officials. After a public clash, the president asked what it would take to restart negotiations with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky toward a peace deal with Russia.
I just think he should be more appreciative because this country has stuck with them through thick and thin.
Democrats urging swift action.
Without our assistance, very, very hard for the Ukrainians. And by the way, it gets easy for Russia. This is what Russia wants.
Democratic lawmakers also inviting fired federal workers to President Trump's address to Congress tonight. Erin Rehill lost her job with the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency after her boss assured her she was safe.
We have justified why you're vital to the organization.
She wants to put a face to the nation's federal workforce.
When you work for this country, you feel a pride in the work that you do.
As President Trump prepares to defend his vision for the country. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
We're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today.
Yeah, coming up, parking pay changes the new way Ocean City says visitors will have to pay to park, and what sparked this change.
Also, decision to demolish. We'll tell you about what the future holds for this 100-year-old house and the produce stand that sits on the same property.
And business license conflict confusion. Ryan Dagsboro says it denied one local business to renew its license and how the owner is now responding. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Don't miss the Delaware Resorts Health, Fitness, and Leisure Expo, March 8th at Cape and Lopin High. Admission is free, so bring the family and tell your friends. Enjoy a full array of health, fitness, and leisure activities, physical therapy, health food, home products, and services. And BB Healthcare is offering free screenings. Don't miss the free Health, Fitness, and Leisure Expo, March 8th, 9 to 4 at Cape and Lopin High in Lewis.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, see how art is transforming lives and building community. Plus, learn about a beach house offering families facing cancer a place to relax and reconnect. Coast Life, today at 4 on Coast TV.
Victory isn't just the finish line, it's the fire that drives us. Seizing opportunities, rising to challenges, and never backing down. At the Delmarva Sports Network, we celebrate the wins, big and small. We honor the hustle, the heart, and the heroes. Because DSN is where local teams become legends. It's where champions shine, and every victory inspires the next. Delmarva Sports Network, local teams, big dreams.
One of my favorite things about Delmarva is how connected the community is. We love doing events here at Coast TV, so that's one part of it. But it's also just being involved, being a global citizen, going out to dinner, going to the gym, all of those things that make Delmarva what it is economically, we participate in, and it's really fun to see our neighbors be our community.
Coast TV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
A wheelchair on the road went unnoticed.
Did you see her?
No.
You hit her.
We collided? Yes.
No, you hit her.
Is that true?
Hey!
Judge Judy.
Tuesday at 2 on Coast TV.
Just about 5:13 on this Tuesday morning. Bay Health Cam 36 in Dover. Much warmer than yesterday morning. It's still cold out there. We've got 30s inland and lower 40s at the beaches right now. Winds are beginning to pick up out of the south. Feels like temperatures pretty much the same as the actual temperatures. Make sure you bundle up out the door. We are looking at some clouds out there, and they will be increasing throughout the day. We've got Arctic high pressure sliding offshore. We'll get into a southwesterly flow, so we'll start a warm up today. Here's your drive cast. We're looking at, I gave it the green light this morning, dry and cold conditions, and we're looking at good visibility, good travel weather. And then for the PM commute, also in good shape there with the green light, breezy and warmer.
Big changes could be coming to Route 24 near Beacon Middle School in Lewis. A development project is moving forward, and on your screen right now is that location. Plans for the site, known as Belmead Farm, include 480 rental units and 125,000 square feet of retail space. There is a public hearing set on March 19th at 5 p.m. at the Sussex County Administration offices in Georgetown.
A local restaurant in Dagsboro will not be getting its business license renewed. The town council recently denied La Dama Mexican restaurant's renewal request. The owner there says she's confused and upset about this decision.
I always renew, pay a fee because it's a late renewal, and you pay a fee and they issue a new one with any other problems. But this time it was different.
In a statement, Dagsboro Mayor Bill Chandler says this happened because of repeated and undisputed violations of state laws and regulations, as well as town ordinances.
Serena Williams has gone from the tennis court to the basketball court. The legendary tennis star is now a team owner in the WNBA. Williams will be a part of the Toronto Tempo, an expansion franchise scheduled to debut in 2026. Her role will include merchandise collaborations and jersey designs.
I don't know if this story here affects Elisa. Starbucks is trimming its menu. Monday, it got rid of 13 different drinks. These include the iced lemonade, white hot chocolate, and the Royal English Breakfast Latte. In a statement, Starbucks said most of these drinks aren't especially big sellers, and they can take longer than usual to make.
You know me well. I only drink black coffee, Matt, but still ahead. Decision to demolish will tell you what could come of a produce stand as a home on the same land is set to be demolished.
Not as cold this morning, but still chilly. 34 in Salisbury on the Spice Brothers cam, and we will start to warm it up today, and the wind picks up too. We do have a yellow alert in effect for Wednesday for gusty winds and possible severe weather into the evening hours. I'll have your forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Coast TV News can be heard on Big 107.7.
I've needed a new left hip for about 15 years. The last 2 cortisone shots I got were bone on bone, and they didn't last 6 months. They lasted maybe a month. I was in a lot of pain. The staff at the Joint Surgery Center at Atlantic General Hospital were incredibly helpful. I was back to work 2 days short of a month, which I found amazing. You learn to trust people when you get good care.
Start your journey to relief today. Atlantic General Hospital, expert care every day.
I think the best person to get out today is Letty.
I like it when you do dirty deeds.
I'm going to tell Dave and Parv I'm with them. I'm going to tell Letty I'm with her. I am trying to play both sides. I can just taste the Final Five, baby.
Deal or No Deal Island, new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
I'm Tom Hanks, the narrator of The Americas. Her head's been turned. It's TV at its absolute finest.
The Americas, Sunday on NBC and Peacock.
The Salisbury Stakes are serving up some smoking soccer action on the Delmarva Sports Network. Feel the fire as the stakes grill their opponents and sear the competition. They're bringing the heat, from hot goals to sizzling saves. It's the perfect recipe for soccer excitement. Don't miss their flavor-packed season. Get your soccer well done. Watch the Salisbury Stakes only on the Delmarva Sports Network and the DSN app. Every community has stories that warm the heart. Stories of kindness, resilience, and the people who make Delmarva special. Every Thursday, Coastal Connections brings you the moments that inspire, the neighbors who give back, and the joy that brings us together. Because when we share good news, we grow stronger as a community. Coastal Connections, Thursday on Coast TV News, sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
We're approaching 6:18 on this Tuesday morning. We're getting a live look at a chilly Ocean City. On this Fat Tuesday, Bob, you're tracking some winds today.
I am. 6:18 or 5:18? I know. I hate to call you out on that, Matt, but you know, folks at home are getting ready for work. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to work by 6. So anyway, 5:18. We are looking at, well, warmer conditions this morning. It's still chilly out there, but it will get breezy today. Winds picking up. Those winds gusting 25 miles per hour or more. And then Wednesday could become stormy into the evening hours. We do have a yellow alert for the possibility of severe weather, especially late afternoon into the evening hours. Right now, we think the main threat will be damaging winds. More on that coming up. Temperatures out the door, not as cold as they have been, but still cold. Yesterday, we were in the teens and 20s. Now 34 in Salisbury, 34 in Delmar, so about a good 15 degrees warmer for sure. 40 in Indian River Inlet, 40 in Rehoboth. As we're looking at light winds right now out of the south, but a little stronger at the beaches, and those winds will be picking up today. Feels like temperatures right now into the 20s and 30s, so much better than yesterday morning, but still chilly. Make sure you bundle up out the door. We're seeing some clouds clouds increasing right now. We've got high pressure beginning to move offshore, and we're getting into a southwesterly flow, and that will start to warm us up. We are watching a powerful storm that developing in the lee of the Rockies already. Some big thunderstorms breaking out across the plains into Texas, and this could turn into a big severe weather outbreak a little bit later today across the deep south, maybe around Arkansas, back to Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So it looks like it's going to be a rough Mardi Gras for New Orleans, a stormy one where they could be seeing a tornado outbreak. This storm will be tracking into the Great Lakes. It'll lose its punch a little bit, but we'll be looking at a front moving through later tomorrow, perhaps giving us stormy conditions into the evening hours. Futurecast today has us warming up pretty quickly, mid-40s by mid-morning, and then by the noon hour into the mid-50s, cooler at the beaches, and then upper 50s this afternoon, getting breezy from the south with those winds, and then cooler 40s at the coast. And then tonight, not as cold with the southerly breeze and temperatures by morning in the 40s. Then Wednesday, we start to cloud it up, and we see those winds really ramping up with time. Temperatures in the low 60s. We start to see showers breaking out early afternoon. Then around the 4 o'clock hour, that's when we have to keep an eye to the sky and make sure you have the Coast TV weather app as we're looking at perhaps strong storms coming through at that time. Here's 6 p.m. Maybe the heavier storms along the coast. Then they start to move offshore. We start to quiet things down into the evening hours. Right now, it's a level 2 risk, a slight risk of seeing severe weather all across Delmar. But the main threat right now is for damaging winds, maybe in excess of 50 miles per hour, as those winds really start to ramp up through Wednesday. By shortly afternoon, gusts to 40 miles per hour. Then after that, maybe gusts to 50, locally stronger near some of those severe storms. And then we'll see those winds begin to shift out of the northwest Thursday morning behind a cold front. As far as rainfall amounts, maybe about a ½ inch to about 3/4 of an inch of rain. So we do need the rain, and we'll get some heavier rain with the system. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 59 today, and then a yellow alert tomorrow for the possibility of severe weather into the evening, 62. Then cooling into the 50s after that. By the weekend, 54 Saturday. Clocks go ahead 1 hour as we head into daylight saving time on Sunday morning, and then cool and dry into early next week. Congratulations to Donald Layton from Laurel on winning a new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. If you've driven down Route 1 near Slaughter Beach, you may have seen this old brown farmhouse. The over 100-year-old house is being demolished this year. The man who leases the property says it's just too old for repair. And the produce stand on the land is being fully revitalized with a goal of being open by summer. A big portion of this area, it's going to be transformed into children's games and activities.
Fortunately enough, it's not going to be a development apparently. And if it is going to be a kids center for the youth, then we need that because we have very little around here for the youth that they could go to.
Now, some ideas for this land include a treehouse, a water slide, and a remote control racetrack.
Up next on Coast TV News today, parking pay changes will tell you why if you want to park in Ocean City, you'll always need a smartphone nearby. Don't go anywhere.
For every season, every weather moment, stay ahead with the Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone. Just call 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead and Dallas Federico.
A wheelchair on the road went unnoticed.
Did you see her?
No.
You hit her.
We collided, yes.
No, you hit her.
That's not true.
Hey!
Judge Judy.
Tuesday at 2 on Coast TV. Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today.
Before I had my hearing loss treated at Mass Audiology, I had a hard time trying to participate in daily activities. Now I can hear.
If you're having trouble hearing, you should schedule a diagnostic hearing evaluation with an audiologist. If a hearing aid is necessary, the audiologist should prescribe a hearing aid and verify it using real ear measurements to ensure that it fits your needs. Call Mass Audiology and ask how Signia hearing aids can treat your hearing loss. To learn more information, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
The Harry K Foundation presents its annual chocolate crawl on Saturday, April 26th in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Enjoy delectable chocolate creations and then vote for your favorite to win top prize. For tickets and info, visit harrykfoundation.org/events.
Draper Media is searching for a full-time entry-level accountant. Successful candidates should have at least an associate's degree or equivalent experience. Candidates with experience in Sage Intacct will be given preference. It's an extremely detail-oriented job involving problem solving. Join the Draper Media team today as our next accountant with full benefits. Go to drapermediajobs.com to learn more and apply. Draper Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Turn your home into a masterpiece with Artwork Painting. Local professional painters at an affordable price.
Artwork Painting did an excellent job with our house. We were really happy with all of the pieces of work they did, the drywall work, the walls, the trim. I would definitely recommend Artwork Painting for your house.
Artwork Painting treats our customers and their homes with care, delivering quality work and experiences. Call Artwork Painting now for a free same-day estimate. Artwork Painting, keeping Southern Delaware beautiful inside and out.
Join America's favorite game.
You never know what's going to happen.
Wheel of Fortune.
Who knows what we will do next?
Tuesday at 7 on CoastTV.
Coming up, Gabriel Iglesias is dishing about his famous nickname.
My mom was like, "Mijo, you're not fat, you're fluffy."
Tuesday at noon on CoastTV.
In Ocean City, the council has decided to replace paid parking kiosks with an app. And without meters, this means you'll always have to have your phone on you if you're looking to pay for parking. According to the town manager, the current kiosks are at the end of their lifespan, and the money to replace them is quite a lot, which is why they will start to phase them out, except for the ones at the inlet. Locals say it may take some time to get used to.
At least at the beginning, if they would have, for instance, like a self-checkout line in the grocery store where there's usually somebody there to help if you need it, that would be great.
And according to the Ocean City manager, you can expect new signs and fewer kiosks in the town before April 1st. And yesterday, Matt, it was cold and breezy. Thankfully, Bob said it's going to be a little bit warmer today.
Yeah, looking forward to that. But, you know, if you're on the beach or along the coast, that wind there, it still can produce some really raw weather, Bob.
Oh, it can, and it will. We're going to see those winds ramping up big time. In fact, we have a gale warning goes into effect later today until Thursday midnight. We're going to be seeing strong winds over 45, 50 miles per hour as we go into tomorrow. It's breezy today. Temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s around Fenwick Island and Ocean City with 1 to 3 foot waves. And Lewis and Rehoboth, it's becoming breezy and temperatures into the 50s, and those waves building as we go into the afternoon. On the Bayside, 1 foot waves as we're looking at mid 50s in Cambridge today and warming into the 50s for Crisfield as well, even warmer into Wednesday. But with that comes a yellow alert and the potential for severe weather into the evening hours. More on that coming up in the next half hour.
Break on Coast TV News today. Rental regulations passed. We'll show you the debate that ended in defeat for protesters on a new minimum stay in Ocean City.
Yeah, we're going to stay in Ocean City for this next one. We have a discussion on outdoor displays, the potential updates to an ordinance being reviewed for boardwalk businesses in the town.
And referendum for retention. We'll tell you everything the Indian River School District wants to accomplish with a referendum set to go for a vote this month. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Transform your home with Coastline Sunrooms and Awnings. Collectively, with over 40 years experience, our expert team has been designing porch enclosures, sunrooms, and awnings that bring comfort and style to your home.
Whether you're looking for protection from the sun or extra living space, we're here to help. Call now to schedule a no-obligation design. We are offering a free electric recessed fireplace with your sunroom purchase, or get a free upgrade to a motorized awning with an awning purchase. Coastline Sunrooms and Awnings. We show up.
For greatness. Get more with DSN Plus. Subscribe today.
Coming up, Drew's got the hilarious Gabriel Iglesias. He's dishing about how he got his famous nickname.
I called myself fat around my mom, and my mom was like, "Mijo, you're not fat, you're fluffy."
Tuesday at noon on Coast TV.
Come out to the Delaware Seafood Fest at Shellville on Saturday, September 20th. Enjoy steamed crabs, shrimp, lobster, and more while enjoying live music all day. Plus, have fun with a variety of family entertainment such as craft vendors, raffles, contests, and more. Proceeds from this event will go to support the Stevenson Foundation, which provides funding for scholarships and more. Get your tickets now at DelawareSeafoodFestival.com. Sponsored by Coast TV.
A wheelchair on the road went unnoticed.
Did you see her?
No.
You hit her.
We collided? Yes.
No, you hit her.
Is that true?
Hey!
Judge Judy.
Tuesday at 2 on CoastTV.
Now on CoastTV News.
A cold start this morning with increasing clouds. A stronger system to our west, packing a punch there, will bring rain, wind, and possibly severe storms later Wednesday. I'll track it on Futurecast coming up next.
Shutting down short stays. We are expecting new rules in Ocean City for some Airbnbs, but we also look at a big change that's coming in 2 years.
Boardwalk display regulations, another policy in Ocean City, and what is being reviewed today by town officials.
School budget battle, aftermath from Monday night's Indian River School District meeting on a proposed referendum.
This is CoastTV News Today.
March 4th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, time is 5:30. We're heading, I feel, for a warmer afternoon today compared to yesterday. I'll take it for early March.
But Bob said it's going to be windy, and the wind can kind of ruin everything, I think, sometimes.
You know, it can affect my hair. I do have that concern.
That's what I'm thinking about, Matt. I mean,
Thank you for thinking of me.
Anytime. Bob and I are always thinking about your hair. Bob makes sure his forecast is good for your hair. Bob's a good guy.
Yeah, it's all about the hairdo. You know, Matt's always concerned about the hair. You know, is it okay for the weather, the wind, and the rain on the commute? Today it is. Tomorrow, maybe not so much. We're looking at temperatures about 15 to 20 degrees warmer this morning than yesterday morning. 32 in Georgetown, 31 in Redden. We were in the teens and 20s yesterday morning. 41 in Bethany Beach, 40 right now at Indian River Inlet. Winds are calm inland areas, but we're starting to see a breeze picking up, and that wind will pick up with time as we're looking at, feels like temperatures in the 20s and 30s. So it's still cold, but not bitter cold like it was yesterday. As we are seeing some clouds, Arctic high pressure is sliding offshore. We're getting into a warmer southwesterly flow, and here's the big storm that we're watching for tomorrow to bring us some evening showers and storms. But it's a nice warm up today, and by noon, look at this, we're well into the 50s, 40s at the coast, and some areas touching 60 this afternoon with breezy conditions. If you're riding the ferry up to Cape May, it does get breezy. We're going to see some whitecaps out there through the day, with temperatures warming from the 40s into the mid-50s by early afternoon.
Thank you, Bob. And we have developing news in Sussex County as officials from the Indian River School District continue to make their case for the need of increasing property taxes. Ahead of this month's referendum, a big pitch came in the form of a public meeting held last night in Ocean View. The needs being cited, it deals with growing operational costs along with teacher recruitment and retention. According to the district, the tax increase would be around $20 per $100 of assessed property value. And the next meeting is March 12th at the Indian River High School. And that referendum vote in the district is on March 20th.
Happening tonight, an update on a story that we've been covering for close to a year. Ocean City officials are looking at clarifying definitions for outdoor merchandise displays on the boardwalk. The rules gained momentum in 2024 that dealt with concern over the displays, creating obstacles for people walking on the boardwalk by placing them too far out from a store. The Ocean City Planning and Zoning Commission is expected to review this at their meeting.
Planning your Ocean City vacation could look a little different now. A minimum 5-day stay and a short-term rental will now be required in some areas of the town.
This comes after months of meetings, discussions, public hearings, and Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us how people living in the beach town are reacting to this change.
A short stay or a long layover. That's what has been discussed for months now in Ocean City. And Monday night, the town council looked to finally make an official decision on short-term rental regulations.
The short-term restrictions would have generational impact in our family and our neighborhood.
The meeting packed with locals ready to share their opinions. Most homeowners in Ocean City are not in favor of having regulations.
They're restricting our rights so they can bring more profits to the hotels. Again, that's unwarranted and unjust.
Robert Knauer lives in Ocean City and was one of the protesters outside the building before the meeting started.
I'm here to protect property rights for myself and for my neighbors and my friends that I've met over the last couple months, because this is not right what they're doing, and it's unfair.
The ordinance discussed at the meeting was to require homeowners to have a 5-night minimum stay for houses in the R1 and MH districts for the summer of 2025 and summer of 2026. At the start of 2027, a 31-night minimum stay will be enforced. Sue and David Solid agree with Robert and say these restrictions would hurt the future of their home completely.
When we're no longer able to live in our house, our son may not be able to maintain it without renting it, would be forced to sell it rather than keeping our home in our family, which was our intention when we bought it.
We spoke with people off camera who do want to see these regulations in place, and they tell us it's because they don't want their neighborhoods turning into something like that big building right there with the bright blue sign, like a hotel. They say the inconsistency from people coming in and out of their neighborhoods, mixed with too much noise, has gotten to be too much. An issue continuing to divide the town of Ocean City. For CoastTV News, I'm Brendan Conroy.
People in Milton will have to wait a little longer to find out if parking changes are coming to the town. Officials discussed 3 possible payment options, including charging businesses for spots, parking meters, and a parking impact fee. The issue will be revisited at the future joint meeting between the Parking and the Finance Committees.
Tonight, the culmination of a seasons-long celebration in New Orleans. Mardi Gras parades have traveled up and down the streets of the Big Easy all weekend, with holding the final festivities tonight. Police have increased security measures after the New Year's attack. Some parades were canceled due to bad weather, but that didn't stop, as you can see, people from taking to the streets and having a lot of fun there.
Happening today, Milford is breaking ground on a project supporters say will boost jobs and economic growth. City officials are inviting the public to the Milford Corporate Center. Groundbreaking ceremony today at 11 a.m. The business park is expected to bring new jobs and improve the city's economy.
In Fenwick Island, you have to be a little quieter now as the town amended its noise ordinance. The 2 big updates include how loud people can be and at what times. Noise around town is limited to 65 decibels or less during the day, 55 decibels or less during quiet hours. Fines for these violations would be set at $200 per offense. And the quiet hours in Fenwick Island, that now runs from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m.
We are now taking a live look at our nation's capital. Just a few blocks from here is the White House, where an official confirms President Donald Trump is pausing military aid to Ukraine. An official says the freeze could last until the country commits to peace talks. Analysts say that could be devastating for that entire country. According to officials, Trump and his senior aides want Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to acknowledge last Friday's heated Oval Office dispute. They say Zelensky's response could be in the form of a public apology.
You are looking at basically cascading effects that could have a major impact on the ability of the Ukrainians to conduct the war.
Analysts say Ukraine has had enough in its stockpiles to sustain its current fighting pace for a few weeks. It has support from Europe, but gets its most advanced weapons from the United States.
We've got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up next on CoastTV News Today, abortion assurance. We'll tell you what it will take for one Delaware lawmaker to get his proposed abortions protected passed, heard in Legislative Hall.
Also, a chance to advance the Monday night down-to-the-wire action in the Maryland girls basketball state tournament.
And call for college funding in Maryland. We'll tell you why some Maryland lawmakers say UMES deserves millions from the state. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
Be a part of the ultimate outdoor experience at the DSN Outdoors Expo. Join us Friday, April 25th from 3 to 8 and Saturday, April 26th from 10 to 4 at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. Showcase your products and services to thousands of potential customers. Increase your brand awareness and reach a large audience at the DSN Outdoors Expo. For more information and to apply as a vendor today, visit WBOCEvents.com.
Introducing Paisano, the authentic pizza oven by Granite Stone. Now make the world's most delicious pizza with real stone right in your own home. You simply set it and let it make golden, crispy, extra cheesy stone-baked pies in under 6 minutes. You can get your Paisano pizza oven for just 3 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free.
Call 1-800-608-5198 or order online at buypaisano.com.
Vacation starts with VA. All that you love, all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, see how art is transforming lives and building community. Plus, learn about a beach house offering families facing cancer a place to relax and reconnect. Coast Life, today at 4 on Coast TV.
Join America's favorite game.
You never know what's going to happen.
For the I can't believe it. And always for the unexpected.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
That's not it, but thank you.
Are you ready?
Tuesday at 7 on CoastTV.
The excitement returns.
The Jeopardy Invitational Tournament.
Players from the past are back.
Fantastic game.
Only one will emerge champion.
Who knows what's next?
Tuesday at 7:30 on CoastTV.
Coming up on 540 on this Tuesday morning, dry tech cam, 41 in Ocean City, warming up, and it's becoming breezy as well. We're seeing temperatures in the 30s inland areas and lower 40s at the coast, and those breezes starting to pick up out of the south, and that will continue throughout the day with feels like temperatures now in the 20s and 30s, so much better than yesterday, as we are seeing some clouds increase. We'll call it partly cloudy, and with high pressure sliding offshore, we will start to warm things up today. For the kiddos at the bus stop, still have to bundle up this morning, cold and dry, 35 off to school, and then heading home, probably carry that jacket or wear a windbreaker around 58, breezy and warmer. Call the Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone, another way to get your forecast, sponsored by Brockstead Man Dallas Federico.
You're getting a look now at Cedar Beach Road between Lighthouse Road and Marina Lane. This is near Slaughter Beach, and DelDOT says this road is closed due to a mechanical issue. There's a drawbridge there, as you can see. And on your screen now, the general area of this closure that we're talking about. There is no timeline yet for when the road will reopen.
Some Maryland lawmakers are pushing to address a funding disparity for historically black colleges and universities. That includes University of Maryland Eastern Shore. When many HBCUs were formed in the late 1800s, they were given land but not equal funding. So a Prince George County's delegate is proposing that the state pay UMES $5 million every year for the next 89 years, totaling more than $321 million. University President Heidi Anderson says this is a solution years in the making.
This became a really important story probably 3 years ago in our country, right after COVID. Several reporters started focusing on the fact that you have 19 institutions that are in that situation, where they are the land grant 1890 of their state, and yet they're not getting the funding.
This push comes as Maryland is in the midst of a $3 billion project deficit.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning. We saw a few upsets in the semifinals of the Maryland Girls Basketball Region Finals, starting with Kent Island taking on Y-High third quarter. A gorgeous pass from Sydney Priska to Michaela Thomas, who gets the easy finish. KI up 35-31. The Bucks taking control of this game after Priska attempts the three-pointer. It's Lacey Dawsis who gets the rebound and hits the buzzer beater to make it a 40-35 Bucks lead. Heading into the final quarter, 5:15 to go in the game, KI with a lead, but it's Trinity Purnell of Y-High who sinks the triple to close in 45-39. The Tribe on a run now, and the rebound from Sayla Foreman, who finds alone Breeza Hall down the court, who gets the easy layup. Y-High ahead 46-45. The Bucks down 2 points now, need a spark. Armani Black gets the rebound off the miss and finds Abigail Staton for the three. She knocks it down to take a 50-49 lead. After some late game chaos, Dawes finds a wide open Priska who gets the layup, and to make it a 3-point game. Y-High has a chance to tie it, but Foreman's three cannot find the net. A rebound by Dawes seals the game away. KI upsets Y-High 52-49 to the 3A Girls Basketball Region Semifinals. The trilogy of Stephen Decatur and Bennett ends in favor of the Seahawks 63-59. Decatur advances to the East Region Finals to take on South River for a chance to advance to the state quarterfinals. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN, 8:30, it's professional indoor soccer as the Salisbury Stakes take on the Arsenal. Then catch a recap of all of tonight's action on the final score at 10:30.
Today in entertainment news, an Oscar winner sets a record and an auction house sets prices on some special movie memorabilia. David Daniel has details in our Hollywood Minute.
What do you think?
It's unusual, even for you.
The Brutalist, winner of 3 Academy Awards, runs more than 3.5 hours. So maybe it should be no surprise its star, Adrien Brody, gave a long Oscar speech. In fact, Brody's acceptance of his Best Actor trophy lasted 5 minutes 40 seconds. According to Guinness World Records, the longest Oscar speech ever. You can't buy an Oscar, but other pieces of Hollywood history are up for sale. Prop Store's latest entertainment auction includes the Medal of Yavin, which Princess Leia gave to Luke Skywalker at the end of Star Wars. It's expected to fetch up to $600,000. And Chewbacca's bowcaster from the original Star Wars trilogy could go for up to $500,000.
Hi, Sandy.
Oh, hi.
If Grease is more your style, Danny Zuko's T-Bird's leather jacket is on the block, estimated to bring in up to $200,000. And Sandy Olsen's dress from that Frosty Palace scene could bring in up to $60,000. The auction runs March 26th through the 28th. Details at PropStoreAuction.com. Hitting the malt shop in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at CoastTV.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Dry roads, good visibility on this Tuesday morning. Tidal Health Cam 34 in Salisbury. It's a cold start, but we start to warm it up today and the winds pick up too. And then moving into Wednesday, it's a yellow alert for gusty winds and possibly severe weather. I'll have your forecast details in 2 minutes.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app today.
Hi y'all, it's April from Coast Country, and every Tuesday I get the honor of highlighting an amazing teacher right here on Delmarva with Teacher Feature. If you know a teacher who deserves some extra love, those who go above and beyond every day, head to coastcountry.com and nominate them today. Then tune in each Tuesday to hear their story. Teacher Feature right here every Tuesday at 11 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. Sponsored by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning and Vernon Powell Shoes.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Enjoy 10 songs in a row. Sponsored by Pohanga Kia of Salisbury.
The 9th Annual Ocean City Film Festival is March 6th through the 9th. Enjoy 100 independent films and party with the stars. Help us welcome 2 local award-winning filmmakers, John Chester and Erica Messer. They'll be on stage at the OC Performing Arts Center commentating on their film, The Biggest Little Farm. Tickets start at just $20. Make it a weekend and stay at the beach starting at only $59 per night. Get your passes at OCMDFilmFestival.com.
Bringing stuff to people at home that will change their lives or change the lives of the community is important. And while it's nice when we talk about the big national stories, the reason we're here is to connect people with what's going on right on Delmarva. And it's a very interesting community. It's not like a lot of other places, so you need that connection.
Coast TV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
Coming up, Drew's got the hilarious Gabriel Iglesias. He's dishing about how he got his famous nickname.
I called myself fat around my mom, and my mom was like, "Mijo, you're not fat, you're fluffy."
Tuesday at noon on Coast TV.
The time is now 5:47 and we're taking a live look outside at Dover this morning. And Bob, it was cold yesterday. It's warming up a little bit today, but the winds today, those are going to be a problem.
Yeah, well, they're going to start getting breezy. Not so much a problem today, at least. I think much more so tomorrow with gusts over 40 miles per hour. Here's our storyline. Winds are picking up. I think we'll see gusts over 25 miles per hour today. Then they really ramp up tomorrow. Gusts maybe over 45 at times, especially into the evening with the cold front. And with the timing of the cold front and those winds, we could be looking at maybe damaging winds with some thunderstorms. It is much warmer this morning than yesterday morning, about 17 to 20 degrees warmer, 32 in Georgetown now, 36 in Milton. So we'll take this over teens and 20s for sure. 41 in Bethany Beach, 40 Indian River Inlet. Southerly winds are beginning to pick up now, and they'll continue to ramp up throughout the day. Feels like temperatures pretty much like the actual temperatures in the 20s and 30s, so make sure you bundle up. Not as bitter cold as it was yesterday morning. And we're starting to see more in the way of clouds building in right now as Arctic high pressure is beginning to slide offshore. We're getting into a southwesterly flow, so we'll start to warm things up. And we're seeing a big storm developing now across the Central Plains, and that's going to trigger severe weather already breaking out near Dallas up towards Wichita, Kansas. And this will be sliding to the east, so it could be a stormy Mardi Gras in New Orleans. And we're looking at the stormy weather. Could be a tornado outbreak in the warm sector of this system from Louisiana into Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama as well. Then that low heads towards the Great Lakes, and we're not going to see the severe weather to the degree like they're going to see in the deep south, but we will definitely see a chance of some severe weather for tomorrow evening. As we're looking at temperatures quickly warming up today by the noon hour, well into the 50s away from the coast, but 40s at the beaches. You'll be cooler this afternoon, but near 60 breezy conditions this afternoon. Then not as cold tonight as we see that southerly breeze kicking in. In fact, by tomorrow morning, we're in the 40s and 50s, and then those winds really ramp up tomorrow. You can see the multicolor arrows, and then the showers move in, and then we're watching for that potential for severe weather between about 4 and 7 p.m. Very heavy rain and maybe strong damaging winds. Keep that in mind, and then we do start to clear things out into the evening hours. We do have a level 2 risk of seeing severe weather. Delmarva all shaded in yellow pretty much for all of us, and the main threat will be damaging winds, as we'll see those winds really ramping up through your Wednesday, at times gusting 40 to maybe 50 miles per hour into the evening hours, and then shifting behind a cold front, and some much needed rain on the way, maybe about a half inch to about 3/4 of an inch. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, warming up today and then a yellow alert tomorrow for that severe potential tomorrow evening. 50s Thursday and Friday, still 50s for the weekend. Clocks go ahead 1 hour Sunday morning. Good time to check the batteries and the CO detector and the smoke detectors as well.
You, Bob, and a major debate at Legislative Hall in Dover over reproductive rights. Senate Bill 5, a proposed amendment, seeks to secure reproductive rights within Delaware's Constitution. While reproductive rights are currently protected by Delaware law, the bill's sponsor, a Senate Democrat, argues that enshrining these rights in the state constitution are needed now more than ever. But there is pushback from the other side of the aisle.
Reproductive rights are an extremely important part of personal liberties. It doesn't really get more fundamental than that. And the most protective we can be of them, the most respectful and protective we can be, is to put it in the Constitution.
I don't think that we need this additional step. As a matter of fact, I'd like to reverse it, that we forbid abortions in Delaware.
Townsend will need to get enough votes to get into a committee before it is heard on the floor.
A cold start this morning, but not bitterly cold like yesterday. 36 in Dover right now, and we're looking at the warmth kicking in as the winds pick up too. A yellow alert in effect for Wednesday for gusty winds and possibly severe weather, and then cooler and quieter to end the week. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next.
Don't miss the Delaware Resorts Health, Fitness, and Leisure Expo, March 8th at Cape and Lopin High. Admission is free, so bring the family and tell your friends. Enjoy a full array of health, fitness, and leisure activities, physical therapy, health food, home products, and services. And BB Healthcare is offering free screenings. Don't miss the free Health, Fitness, and Leisure Expo, March 8th, 9 to 4 at Cape and Lopin High in Lewis.
Come out to the Delaware Seafood Fest at Shellville on Saturday, September 20th. Enjoy steamed crabs, shrimp, lobster, and more while enjoying live music all day. Plus, have fun with a variety of family entertainment such as craft vendors, raffles, contests, and more. Proceeds from this event will go to support the Stevenson Foundation, which provides funding for scholarships and more. Get your tickets now at DelawareSeafoodFestival.com. Sponsored by CoastTV.
time for greatness.
Get more with DSN Plus. Subscribe today.
Big 107.7 and 107.1 The Duck are giving you a chance to win a trip to see the Eagles live in Las Vegas at the Sphere. Submit a video of yourself performing an Eagles song to BigClassicRock.com or 1071theduck.com. 5 finalists will be invited to Crawl Street Tavern on March 22nd to sing a randomly selected Eagles song live with Fuzzbox Piranha. The lucky winner is headed to Vegas to see the Eagles live. Listen to Big 107.7 and 107.1 The Duck for details or visit our websites.
Victory isn't just the finish line, it's the fire that drives us. Seizing opportunities, rising to challenges, and never backing down. At the Delmarva Sports Network, we celebrate the wins, big and small. We honor the hustle, the heart, and the heroes. Because DSN is where local teams become legends. It's where champions shine, and every victory inspires the next. Delmarva Sports Network, local teams, big dream.
The acting head of global health for USAID, AID, claims the fallout from the suspension of foreign aid will have negative consequences. According to Nicholas Enrick, the ongoing suspension to humanitarian assistance paid by American taxpayers could cause surges in diseases. Now, the White House says hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud have been discovered in USAID, including money that supports the poppy cultivation and heroin production in Afghanistan that benefit the Taliban.
The National Institute of Health is losing a long-serving renowned geneticist. Dr. Francis Collins has retired. He served as the head of the agency under Presidents Obama, Trump, and Biden. Prior to that, he worked on an NIH-supported grant that led to the identification of a gene for cystic fibrosis. In 1993, he joined the agency to lead the Human Genome Project, and that group mapped the 3 billion letters of human DNA. And the time is now 5:55, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Yeah, today's coastal pet of the day, familiar friend here, ready for tonight's celebration. That's Benny, all dressed up for Mardi Gras. Benny was submitted to us by Tammy and Seaford.
Good for him. My dogs would never wear costumes, so we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
And you can scan that QR code at the top to get your friends to us at Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
And it's 5:55, so we're going to get another quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, Bob, you're tracking a warmer day, but also a little bit windier in the afternoon.
That's right. Those winds picking up from the southwest, and we will start that warm-up process. We're already starting it now as we're seeing temperatures rising from the 20s into the 30s. Southerly winds start to pick up. Then we're into the 40s, eventually 50s later on. This is away from the coast. Upper 50s, I think 40s and 50s at the beaches. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 59 today, and then we do have a yellow alert Wednesday for winds that are strong, over 40 miles per hour. Make sure you secure your outdoor items at that time. Maybe do that today because we could be looking at severe weather into the evening with a cold front and thunderstorms. A high of 62. Dries out Thursday and Friday with 50s and then 50s, and I think we're keeping it dry into the weekend as clocks go ahead 1 hour Sunday morning. And then next week, a nice warm up by Wednesday. We're looking at 70 degrees, 69 by Thursday. Maybe settling into more spring-like temperatures by that time.
Bob, coming up in our next hour, vacation limits locked, the expected short-term rental policy in Ocean City, and the increase in a requirement that's going to go into effect in 2 years there. That and more when Coast TV News Today continues.